My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon 2, where we are headed into the mountain region for the boss fight of Chapter 5. Alright, we got some preparation we need to do here. I had prepared a couple of things already in picking up a couple of items in previous areas. So we've got the Book of Creative Insults for round start, 5% chance to taunt. So, key thing here, who wants to taunt? So Eloise does have the plus 20% max HP. And also, I guess it doesn't show under your conditions. It shows here. Gains the token that I still don't know the name of. It's got to have a name. Conviction. Gains conviction. That makes sense. Gains conviction when hit. Also, conviction enhances stun and move resistance. Also, it enables her abilities. So, having judgment is, I guess, really, theoretically, what it's enabling for us when Eloise is in the front line is Mace Bash. The ability for it to do a ridiculous amount of extra damage, as well as ignore enemies' dodge, block, and guard. I mean, yes, that's good. In fact, yes, that's very good. But Dysnomia also wants to be on low health. Has Adrenaline Rush in order to gain themselves a little bit more from the bottom. And obviously, as condition of being a Hellion, has extra damage one on lower HP. It's also worth noting that I'm pretty sure there's barely any chance that I end up spending enough baubles to remove the plus 20% damage on Clarifying Carcinet. So that's already just another sharpness charm for Dysnomia. So I'm more than happy to swap that over. Sure, we lose the Greater Clotting Craw on the character that is going to be bleeding a little bit more often, but again, that's something that we can address in a couple of different ways. We have the Tin Delicacies, which is the food we're almost certainly giving to Dysnomia here, plus 30% max HP, as well as 10% to all resistances. Neat. And then on top of that, we also have... Yes, in the Provisioner, we have some Clotting Pulses, or just enhancing the bleed resistance of a character until next in. So definitely going to be using those as well. We've also got the Stimulating Poultice for some extra speed. We've got, obviously, the ability to buy a lot more stuff, courtesy of the Miller's Bounty, decreasing the prices of the combat and in items. Got a little bit of stress that we need to get off of the party, but not that much. Not that much at all. Okay. I think we can start just assigning things to people. For instance, we're not going to be able to eat all of the apples and cheese. So tinned delicacies go to Dysnomia. Apples and cheese, apples and cheese, apples and cheese. Excellent. So for the Book of Creative Insults, we've also got the Ceremonial Drum is blocked by Melophobic. Okay, so Dysnomia is not going to be able to have additional move resist. I don't love that. I really don't love that, because one of the worst things that we could well, actually, I was about to say one of the worst things we can encounter is not being able to rectify our positioning on the Hellion, but toe-to-toe. We're actually using that in this. It's also providing taunt. It can provide defensive buffs to the frontline position as well. So for move resistance, I feel like I'm gonna want to give like pretty much one Ceremonial Drum to basically everyone. Because I would absolutely hate to be shuffled entirely here. We've also got the Nightshade Concoction for extra Deathblow resist. I really feel like that should probably go on the Hellion. Extra Deathblow resist there. You will also have extra healing from skills, thank you. Ceremonial Drum, Ceremonial Drum. I almost feel like I should be splitting the Books of Creative Insults amongst both Eloise and Dysnomia. Hmm. Eloise's self-defense isn't especially high, though. Greater Clotting Craw. Yeah, is there a world where I give you Misstep? I don't think so. I think that just ruins my Jester a little bit. Plus 50% crit. If not stealth, more damage taken. We've got one Shimmering Powder, which is the ability to add some stealth to a character. There's more Shimmering Powder. We could buy 4 rounds of plus 50% crit. At least. One other thing we can do here is with the Bear Trap, a serrated trap, we could re-equip Jazzy with the Fisherman's Line for the possible additional bleed. Yeah, I think it's really important to stack a high bleed number here on Jazzy.
Planning and mindfulness, as vital to survival as sharpened steel.
Yeah, okay, I only have the ability to pick up 2 more mastery as well, so I should have a look at what I think would be appropriate for those. I know that there's one, yeah, Demon's Ball is not upgraded, but that's the only ability I have tagged at the moment that isn't upgraded. Okay. Sort. Bear Trap, there's your serrated item, so we get the serrated effect active, which is a third of the time, add 3 bleed. There's also the Severed Finger for additional damage to targets that are bleeding, as well as extra bleed dealt to targets. Ministrations. That removes a huge amount from one target, but it can only be done in the back line. So Illumination, Judgment, upgrades for extra damage, extra burn. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to change any of those. Having a look back at our in items, we do have the Books of Creative Insult that we have to put out. I do think I'm gonna give one of these to each of our frontliners here. And then I might even buy, 2 more of them and give those to frontliners also. Knotted Tug Rope is blocked by Lazy. I've got to make sure that I get some Clotting Poultices before I go out at the absolute least. Also going to take some Stimulating Poultices. So our Clotting Poultice, 1 at least has to go on Disneymer. I would like if a second did also. I'd also like Disneymer to act earlier in the round. Eloise is very slow. She doesn't really respond to things well either. You can also take that. 65% for the resist to bleed on Disneymer. I think that'll have to be enough. Is someone squeamish? Wait, what? Oh, Disneymer, you got squeamish as a result of picking the first Clotting Poultice. So I couldn't even give you another one if I tried. And I did. Tried. Okay. Knotted Tug Rope is blocked by Lazy, which I don't think we have much of. My Time in the Desert. So I could buy 2 My Times in the Desert and 2 Books of Creative Insult. I don't think that My Time in the Desert is going to be particularly good if I'm already limiting the enemy's placement with my time. Okay, so... Ooh, Eloise, you've become erudite. 10% resistance, and that replaced something else that I cannot recall what it was. I hope it wasn't good.
The means of mastery.
I think it's possible that I may want to take Battle Ballad. It gives me the ability to try and rectify someone else's positioning. I probably end up turning off, like, Harvest for the final fight, maybe. It gives me the ability to try and rectify someone else's positioning, as well as give them a useful token, as well as remove combo. And I think removing combo is going to be a really important part. I think that, like, in the Templar fights, that's really what I was feeling quite strongly, that I could get a lot of additional value were I able to remove almost any of that combo. Single shimmering powder. Buying another one seems like it might be useful. So I think I'm going for a medicinal herb and a shimmering powder. And we'll restack those on the people who are currently holding them. I don't think laudanum makes a huge amount of sense for the final fight. I think more than that, something like clotting powders. I'm assuming that this final boss is going to bleed us, but bleed is also the most common thing that enemies do. Rather, bleed is the most common DOT that enemies apply. So it would cost us 30 to fully fix these. I don't want to fully fix them. But I do want to stay above 75. If I buy 18 right now for armor, there's no hazardous route that'll occur. So my road healing will be low because I haven't got full wheels, but I will start every battle with some block tokens, which is relevant.
Patched. The coach stands ready once more.
Doesn't make sense to keep the almanac when I can just get 5%.
Meet each challenge on its own terms.
When I can get 5% extra resistance to incoming stress. I think we're done. I think we have made all of the preparations that are available currently for us to make. I want to buy 2 noisemakers. I think noisemakers are a good idea here as well. And it's either that or something like a knotted tug rope, or I'm not going to go for the incense to try and remove stress from the party. I'm just going to be doing that over the course of the early combats. I'm going to take 2 noisemakers. And I'm also going to provide those to Diz. Yeah, I'm going to provide those to Diz before we get into the final fights. Anything else? Anything else need to change? Last call? All aboard! Alright. Let's go out.
All roads lead to the mountain, but only one leads beyond it.
Of course, everyone loves one another, as they all have 100% chance to gain a positive relationship with one another.
While the heart still beats, desire will never die.
So that is going to make it much simpler
Aspiration unites the hopeful.
for me to manage the stress HP and DOTs on my
Tried and
characters.
tested. A bond to be counted on.
Okay, let's see if any of these are especially important. What? Iron Swan immediately giving John some stress heal and Abyssal Artillery. So anytime I attack the enemy backline, I am going to remove stress from both sides of my party, the front and the back. We get some useful buff tools on consistently used skills. Oh, wow. Okay, so we do get a DOT removal, and it's on Wicked Hack we remove DOTs from Eloise, who also taunts. Admittedly, I'm pretty happy about that. Hand of Light also heals Diznamir by 10%. That's great. Give out, what, 3 tokens and also heal the tank in the front line by 10%? Incredible. Also worth noting, our heals...
At last, the great ziggurat. Temple of failure and regret.
Our heals are based on a percentage of the max HP of the character that receives them, which means that the trophy I have in my stagecoach, the plus 50% max HP and negative 50% to death blow resistance, as well as all the other max HP gains we have on those characters, has resulted in them being really tough to take down. Oh, baby. Are we even gonna have a fight before the end? I assumed they were gonna make this harder.
The nexus of ruin. Loathing poured forth from the darkest recesses of your mind. Your failures took form, and the world bowed in honor of your great wretchedness. The stain of your bankruptcy frayed the very fabric of our dimension. But you were afraid to face what you had wrought and fled down the long road of your memories, hiding yourself away.
Interesting. Oblivion's Ingress. So yeah, we do have battles earlier. And in fact, John says, turn your eyes to the stars. They favor us. And blinds the enemies. Hell yeah. The flesh warps. Unfortunately, that's a crit token on the decon. Let me just give a quick old swing. Maximum damage Iron Swan to the back line. Inversion. They have adopted on themselves all of the debuffs of their friends. Okay. So Evangelist is obviously only going to be hitting one of the front 2 liners here. I think I'd probably go Consecration of Light for the damage directly ahead of myself. No, a crit's going to come out relatively soon. I should start getting some more defensive tokens again. Yeah, going for damage immediately doesn't make sense in that context. Muse Hand of Light, and neat! I get a block token on one of our frontliners. Or rather, I get a block token on each of our frontliners. Yes, I could use Inspiring Tune right now, theoretically. However, if we blind this Deacon... Actually, do I just let the Herald live? Because I was trying to base my entire turn around what John was going to do afterwards, which would be Abyssal Artillery to the back line. But that does deny my ability to use John's guaranteed no crit button. The Weakening Curse removes crit from target. Just prevent the Deacon that way. So if I'm preventing the Deacon that way, I would have the ability to free this action up for anything else, up to and including Inspiring Tune. But I like to try and pump those out near the end of the battle, and I don't... This battle doesn't look like it's going to be the huge problem for me. Okay. As it turns out, they resisted the DOT anyway. Not the DOT, the debuff anyway, so blinding them was never going to work. Well, could have, but whatever. We also did manage to maximum bleed them for 10 with a slice off. For 30 damage bleed. It's pretty sick. Just having a quick look at the damage before I do the correct thing, which is the Weakening Curse. Oh, we even managed to connect those weakens. So Weight of the World comes out. It does manage to crit one of the targets, but it doesn't ruin us all. Oh wow. Acting directly before the Herald. I will absolutely take that kill.
A promising development.
I would legitimately consider it so. as much as I want to throw out an Inspiring Tune now, I know that killing an Evangelist by itself takes a little bit of time. So I think I will have a fair few rounds at the end where I can get the value out of that. I see. Well, I should probably do it sooner rather than later. I'm going to give a Vulnerability Hex to the front line and try and remove their block tokens as a result. That doesn't work, unfortunately. 2 DOTs on myself. They're not especially large. Ooh, I can Mace Bash for huge damage right now as well. Let's do it. I put the Deacon down on the ground. You've still got a DOT to test you.
Empowered. Emboldened.
Just in case I don't kill the Deacon, I can't have the Deacon then immediately act
Lenity. Grace.
and stress out a party member.
That drive back the darkness.
Oh, it was the Evangelist who was acting next. Interesting. I was somehow certain that wasn't the case, but it was, so my certainness was worth nothing. Excellent. I mean, this artillery takes care of some of that. I'll test your Death's Door with a buff for my team. Ooh, we resisted the stress from that. That's pretty important, I think, probably. Using Wicked Hack will remove the bleed from Eloise, who will then follow up with another Deathblow test. There we go, we come down.
All problems have their solutions, even the big ones.
I should like you to be vulnerable, please.
Slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Now, I do need to stay in the back line, so I will attempt to possibly blind this target. Setting up combo on them as well. We also managed to bleed them. Out comes a Blood Bond. It misses, which I believe is Daredevil activating there. So gain when missed, a 50% chance to lower your stress. I mean, I could Howling End. And I should Howling End. So I did Howling End. Sure, I'll roll a Weakening Curse on the frontliner. Hey, gave me DOT, that's worth it. Dump. Yeah, I think we ended off into that fight better than we came in. I am a little bit worried that the next one's gonna have an Exemplar. Not worried enough to really change anything, though. Eloise, both our path and purpose are clear. I'll take some tokens. I do kind of want to open with the old Iron Swan here. Oh, and I should. I really didn't actually expect that to connect. I totally expected that it was going to give my ability to pull the Cherub out of position in a way that was going to be extremely helpful for us. That said, now I think I'll just kill it with Sky Slaps. Let's slice something off of ya. Sloppy. There goes that Cherub. Blood Commune on the character that is holding the Clotting Cruer, so it's going to be very, very difficult to bleed Eloise. Again, with the giant bleed that we connected on the Cardinal in the front line, I really don't expect to be in this fight for long enough to really justify
Observe the subject carefully, and you will discover its weaknesses.
Much of anything, frankly.
What can we learn upon closer inspection?
I legitimately believe that I might be in a position where I just need to buff one of the spaces for future damage's sake. Auto Vasel, that's a huge impact to have there. Definitely worth playing my guitar at myself for a bit. It's the Evangelist that will act next. So setting up vulnerability on a target. So vulnerability is 50% more damage, but so is the weakening? Rather, so is the weakening because it provides a combo token which then the Wicked Hack, which is my next ability that's going to be used, can utilize in order to do 50% extra damage. So I'll roll my Weakening Curse, we'll just deal with the attack. Yep. And then Wicked Hack is even going to remove those DOTs. Have you considered hanging out on Death's Door? Ooh. Never mind, you went straight into the home. Again, removing big block tokens or, you know, doing deathblow chances with a very tiny weenie hit is quite satisfying. I can continue to try and blind this target. And I do. Oh, it's crit time for me. Go down onto the ground, Evang. Actually, I can do that without moving. Neat. They roll Nocturne's Commune. Vuln Hex to see if I can get rid of... Oh! Never mind, I've already given you a DOT. So you are now already dead, which means I can afford to try and take any recovery actions available. Honestly, the largest recovery I might be able to do is finishing this fight before Jazzy gets to take a turn. So I'll do that. Neat. Do we have a third battle now? The first chapter had only one battle in this area. Chapters 3 and 4, I believe, had 2.
I remember our first meeting on the steps of the university. You were golden, lit from within by the glow of potential. Finally, my friend, I would see that potential realized. It is time to reclaim the world from your weakness. Meet your derelictions with blazing defiance. The equation must be balanced.
Jazzy, what are you trying to tell me? Nothing important as it turns out, just got an exclamation mark for no reason whatsoever. From the guard's perspective in Metal Gear Solid, that's typically how they feel. Oh? Must have been the wind. Oh, buddy.
Gaze now upon your great achievement, the sum total of your failings, your body of work.
Ooh. Oh boy.
The carious gut of the coward, rife with toxic pusillanimity.
It's Cowardice. Body of work. So it's bleed resistance, thankfully, is not 100%. Gastric juices. Exclusively targets positions 4 and 2. Also, applies blight to attackers when they hit. That's not great. Can I bleed you, please? Oh my god, my bleed connected. But it wasn't the biggest bleed of all time, so I'm disappointed somehow. Gastric Juice. At turn end, gain 3 blight. How many times? Enemy has 2 actions this round. I could attempt to try and weaken them for the sake of both of those actions. Or I could give dodge to Eloise in the front line. As well as make them vulnerable, possibly for 2 more actions. I'm gonna weaken them. Unfortunately, we failed to weaken. So I do want these attacks to go out against the Vestal where possible, so I'm going to roll Noisemaker. You cover all lines, but thanks to that combo token, a traditional Wicked Hack will do the most damage here. What about Howling End, though? It does more damage. And then I would be able to try and take back the aggro next round, using toe-to-toe to move forward, as well as remove my Winded token. No, before I try and reshuffle my positioning, I do want to trammel. Oh, you were mobilized. That's fine. It's very fine, in fact. Okay, I think it's definitely worth my time to set up the Conviction of Light on the Hellions line.
What is it, then, that gazes back so intently from the abyss?
Oh, baby. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Howling End with the 45 on the crit here.
Excellent work.
I'd love to hit you with a giant bleed again, please. They resisted the bleed, but it did make them vulnerable at least. I'm gonna... Oh no, I've already got a dodge token on John. I can't really do much damage. And I'd be consuming a token that someone else could probably use better. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and inflict some extra vulnerability here. It worked. We also gave dodge to our frontliner. Trammel misses our backline. Neat. Thank you for the dodge plus token. Yeah, there are blights, but they're not huge enough to be a real issue. Putting a Consecration of Fortitude on the line behind myself seems appropriate. Acid Reflux comes out for 1 damage, but some blight, also a debuff of lower blight resistance. Catabolize. So Catabolize, it looks like, removed all of the blight on characters and dealt some damage to them as a result, but the damage was extremely minimal. So I don't feel especially threatened. Bleed. Dang! Didn't manage to bleed them at all.
And apply it judiciously.
Stop traveling him! Let's get a couple tokens. Oh my god, the resistances. Quick look. So gastric, trammel is from any line to any line on target. It locks. Catabolize is to all of us. Acid reflux is to any individual one of us. Okay. Cool. I mean, obviously this is going to be the entire fight. We're going to fight probably, I assume, multiple different body sections? I'm really excited by the concept, frankly. I feel like Noise Makia might be another good play right now. I'd really like if they couldn't target my backline so fiercely. Or at all would do me, actually. We do manage to land the weaken on the enemy, and Acid Reflux comes out on a line that's dodging as a result of being a daredevil. We dodge that and heal some stress at the same time. There's none tougher than you, body of work. Which is why I must deal 19 damage at a time to you. You're too dangerous to live. Slice off. Failing to hit either the bleed or the the bleed or the DOT. The bleed or the vulnerability there. Yeah, the blight on 2 targets on the field is really, really high. I'm going to elect to use the medicinal herbs to remove 9x3 blight on the Jester.
Agony.
And I want to follow up maybe with just Mace Bash. Thunk. You know, just thunk him for some damage. I have 16 damage that I can do with Abyssal Artillery here from the backline. Considering I have a crit token as well as a what's the other word I'm looking for? Crit token and strength token, that's it. Definitely seems appropriate to use that. Acid Reflux hits our taunting unit in the front line. We do get blighted. Metabolize comes out and deals 20. It crits and deals 20. Still doesn't really seem to phase our team, though. Early in the round, so in case this works like a creature's den, we kill.
Pierces the veil of reality.
Oh yeah, we get a free round with everyone else because of it. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see. I mean, speaking of what I wanted to see, any of your abilities and stuff like that? No. Movement immune, as you might imagine. This unit could actually be stunned. I'm gonna Consec Light the front line.
Cooperation is the key.
Let me slice some. Why don't they ever bleed for me? Bleed for me, my angel! I want to have access still to the Weakening Curse. Oh no, but the enemy can't have more than a couple of stacks of... Can they only have 2 stacks of vulnerability at the same time? I think that's it for some reason. I try and slap. It's just I want to have the ability to remove crit just in case they have the ability to give themselves crit. So the Weakening Curse, like, it's a risk to utilize that right now. I'm gonna go for the Balm Hex. I'm not happy about it. Yeah, I can only get 2 vulnerability on them, so unfortunately I waste some there. The enemy glares and says with contempt that you're next. That's fine. Howling End at the moment does 32 to 58. So I'm absolutely gonna howl. For 42. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wind up, preparing to deal a powerful, unavoidable blow. And you've got a bar on your HP, so I assume I need to get you down to that in order to prevent it. It's unavoidable as well, so blinding and things like that are probably not going to have any relevance. The bleed connected, and we got them below the bar, and now they're not doing the ability anymore. Hell yeah, buddy! We got him! Woo woo! Consec of Fortitude in the previous space. And I don't know, maybe I do weaken you now. I will. Dang, didn't manage to hit the weaken. I did hit a blight. We get trammeled. That Jester's never moving ever again. We get hammeled. Thankfully, we do not manage to move.
Emboldened.
You can't do that to us, buddy. Let's slice some stuff off. Bleed connected at least. Oh no. The Hellion can't be moved this round, unfortunately. And weird reconstruction is still not available. I don't like that. I'm gonna grab some vulnerability on the enemy. Covetous glance. They've contemptfully marked my character. I would love to toe-to-toe and go forward. Alas. I guess if I'm not guaranteed to hit, I should probably just toe-to-toe and remove my own token. Enemy has dodge tokens though. I get a little bit of healing as well as some health. A haymaker comes out from the enemy. Oh, that was their contemptful move, I assume. I've got so many... Dodge and block and dodge! Unfortunately, I am still immobilized, so... I can only wickedly hack. Man, the enemy's dodge tokens are really annoying right now. Love if I could get rid of them. Unavoidable. I'm assuming I can't just use stealth to avoid this attack.
A brilliant conclusion.
Weakening the enemy might be relevant though. I can heal Diz by 10. Actually, I could also just use Sanctuary. I'm gonna give that a go. Does it attack through guard? Covetous Glance got redirected, it looked like. Annoyingly, I think I have to play an Inspiring Tune if I don't want ridiculous stress to occur now. Trammeling misses, thank you. Howling End, I can't move backwards right now. Oh, but the enemy has a block plus token. Rude. Oh! We get a slice off. Unfortunately, we didn't get max bleed on that.
Awash in turmoil.
Covetous Glance fails. Realistically, I could actually just move backwards. I think I will. There goes the hammer. I'm thinking damage from this one.
Excellent work.
Because I've got the whole crit token, you see. Also managed to inflict a combo on the enemy.
For who knows
Oh
what
no,
lies
they
in
managed
the
to
beyond.
stun. Rude. I really wish I had the Jester with any bleed resistance piercing so that I could actually do things. Hellion's gonna have to use Bloodlust at the first available opportunity. Let's have a look at the... Okay, Trammel can only be used against the two midliners, Hammer against the two frontliners. Glare sets up the Haymaker. And Haymaker has a stun and a non-stun version. I really wish, like, Mace Bash would heal me. Actually, I'm gonna use the Mace Bash. 22 damage. Enemy trammels for 8. I'm gonna use Weird Reconstruction to try and save the Vestal. The Bleed will kill the Body of Work on its next action. So ideally the Vestal acts at the start of the next round. I use Bloodlust. Adrenaline Rush, that is, sorry. Big heal, and now I'll heal every single time I hit an enemy. Having the ability to respond to what next comes out onto the field might be more appropriate than healing stress right now, but I'm not sure. Oh, yes.
Behold the hateful god upon his throne. Your failures made flesh.
Shackles of the Past. Shackles of the Past. Okay, so that's part of the boss fight at the very start, Shackles of the Mind, and has disabled a number of different moves. So I can't use Stress Heal, I can't use melee skills on the Hellion right now, unfortunately. Can't use healing from our healer. Wow, Eloise, I guess, can't use range skills, and is the only person not deeply affected by the change here. There's a Proclaimer at the front line and the back line, each of them with 26 health, and then there's the Body of Work, 999 HP. I have to assume that part of what I need to do here is kill the Proclaimers. I'm gonna place a Consecration of Fortitude on my own space. Oh, it changes the debuff I have. Cool, cool, cool.
Analysis is the natural prelude to action.
I feel like I should try and weaken the Body of Work just in case. Or even use Vulnerability on the backline Proclaimer. Setting up dodge on Eloise. Okay, so it's not at round end the stress locks change, it's only after you do something. Unfortunately, that means Dysnomia can't do anything that turn. Edge of Oblivion comes out, you are now worshipping and you have Taunt. I'm gonna take some attacks away from our frontliner. I have to hit the front line. I'm gonna use Bear Trap here, hitting the front line, unlocking my ability now to hit anything else. Before realizing that that's not something I should want to do, basically, at all, I think. Maybe I want to slice off? No, I think that mistake, effectively. It's fine, I have another Bear Trap. Set up combo, but do not manage to blind the target. I'm gonna use Simmering Powder on John here. Shimmering Powder, rather. And slap some artillery. Stars Align was a buff to everyone on field. Iron Swan time. We roll maximum damage and in doing so immediately take out the Proclaimer by itself. Hell yes, very pleased about that. Not being able to attack for a round prevented us from also healing with the Hellion, which was a problem. Didn't like that. I'm gonna have John manually move backwards in order to not just do nothing at all that turn. This is very slightly more than nothing. And the light drops some good targets onto our board. I feel like since the inspiring tune can be locked out for stress healing, I should probably take it here while I have easy access. Well, similar thing, I'm just gonna move backward manually there, I guess. Body of work cannot be targeted right now. So I'll set up vulnerability. Futility is dodged. Love to see that. Proclaimer's absolutely going down with this strike. Now it's just you and me, boss. I'm gonna pop a Consecration of Light on the front line so that I have access to some damage. They asked me to... Oh, God damn it. Really? It's probably the Jester that's contributing the least to the fight. Rehearsals are over. This is the big show. I can only assume I'm currently being made to select who will die, such as come unto your maker. No. Oh. Okay, so it summons a unit from their past, the Spectre, here. Oh. To me, the Spectre is undamageable. Interesting. That is to say, to anyone except for the Jester. I'm assuming anyone except for the Jester, rather. In order to rectify my party positioning a little bit, I think I ought toe-to-toe, moving myself forward, taunting up a little bit as well. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use melee skills soon. And then... if John manually moves to the back, I can rectify my party positioning pretty easily. Okay, it took a little bit, but we're comfy now. Regression is dodged. Love to see that dodge. Another regression tries to come out. Looks like each time the enemy uses regression there, they are buffing themselves quite dramatically. Oh, you're kidding me. Give me a crit token. I can't do anything about it. Thankfully, I do keep it for the next turn. That's when I'm going to use my Howling End. Utility.
Well done.
Oh, big crit. We managed to blind you. Yeah! Blind makes him miss that. Mace Bash is a lot of damage for the body of work at the moment, and it definitely seems like the intent here is to get you to work on one target with one character, and then everyone else needs to focus on the body of work in that period of time. At least that's how I've been interpreting it. I'm gonna try and set up vulnerability as well as some dodge for Eloise. We get both! Not that the dodge for Eloise could have been avoided. Utility. Oh, you actually do manage to move her. That's annoying, but Howling End is still 57 damage, so... Then after that I have to use toe-to-toe. That's fine.
A breakthrough.
Big hit, give him crit. I feel like I kind of need some more defensive tokens as well, but... yeah. That defensive token on, John had just cancelled out a vulnerability. Will advance with Razor's Wit.
Spiritual torment has no place in the compassionate mind. It must be purged.
Oh! Now we get to cast Exaltation. It does 200 damage. It gives -5 stress to the self. It gives +15 to the flame, and it heals by 33%. Oh, that's what's up. We have to face our past and our fears and all of those things. Samsara! Futility continue. You moved him to the front of the party. Thank you, buddy. You literally rectified my party positioning. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. It's very kind of you. So now we're back in this phase of the fight where I need to kill the Proclaimers, which is unfortunate because I really like that one song they did. I could try and set up vulnerability on the very backliner, or vulnerability. No, it's vulnerability that I should set up there. Yeah. Oh, they only had a 10% chance to resist that, and they managed. Unfortunately, that is going to jeopardize my ability. Whoa, that's a lot of stress. Oh, 3 stress for 2 turns. Okay, so I'm gonna have to use my stress heal, obviously, on Disney, but it will clear the horror that is also giving this ridiculous extra stress right now. I mean, yeah, if I can kill her, it's great.
Steady yourself.
Those DOTs are both tiny. I'm going to elect to pop a Consecration of Fortitude on my own space.
Collaboration confers advantage.
Time to get rid of that horror.
The pulse slows. Sanity returns.
Excellent. Unfortunately, without having used toe-to-toe yet, I do have slightly less damage than I otherwise might like, but it's still important to do, because I have a crit follow-up here from John. What if I did Demon's Pull instead? And then move you to the very front of the party where I can actually hit you. Neat. Not only can I hit you, I can hit you with a Mace Bash. Thunk! Time for someone else to face some failure. I think the Hellion, right? Know that in falling we taste glory. This time I stand my ground. Utility has struck the back line. That is okay. I do think it is definitely time for a weird reconstruction. Big HP. I can't use any of my abilities. I'm gonna pass. Rude. I'm going to give a Consecration of Light to the very front line so that our Hellion is going to have an easier time dealing with her past.
Malaise.
Straight up crit and bleed. Love it. I see the regression. Oh, I love dodging your futility. Gotta use the Inspiring Tune when I can here. John, do you want to keep your position but stress? I think it might be slightly better for you. Howling End to try and immediately kill the Spectre. I could also just wickedly hack. Well, good crit. Also removes the DOTs from the next line. Ooh, even got a dodge out of that one. Definitely time to pick up a couple more tokens. And I think we're pretty comfortable. Slice some more stuff off of you. Unfortunately, they resist the bleed. Dang. Strange Axis. It looks like Strange Axis. Does that just invert? Skills. Pity those who glimpse the mind of a god. Uh-huh. Got it. You're not gonna tell me anything. Let's use toe-to-toe to take out the Spectre, as well as remove my final Winded token.
Half-remembered Spectre.
And then it's Exaltation time! Alright, alright, alright. I suppose there's nothing awful with the idea of trying to... Oh no, wait, Disneymer is not our Jester, as was tradition in Darkest Dungeon 1. Disneymer here is our Hellion instead. Yeah, let's go for the Von Hex for the dodge on Eloise. And then I really like the idea of rolling Sanctuary as a way to gain some defensive tokens to cancel out the vulnerability there. Oh, baby. 17? We hit the max on the back line. I am going to rectify her positioning by using Fade to Black myself to move backwards and start some damage on the Proclaimer. Lovely. We also forced them to miss a move there. I'm gonna manually move backwards because having the Hellion in the very front position gives the
Collaboration confers advantage.
buffs a huge amount of resistances, so it'll prevent her from being moved out of that space, which is good. Because she does 25% extra damage when she's in rank 1, courtesy of being a Ravager. Trying to figure out what I was intending to say there for a moment. Fade to black. Just keep working on these cherubs. Dodging futility. Ooh, the stars align with 2 crit modifiers. Obviously, I'm going to kill you before you do it, and then the other one, I'm also going to kill before they do it. Somehow. One assumes. Alright, let's get a Consecration of Light out on our damage dealer again. Strange Axis is defended. No more cherubic actions, thank you. Raises wit for even more dodge across the general party. John, just pass in the very back line there. And now a Consecration of Fortitude on my own line sets up for... I think we... I mean, the thing is, I haven't finished either of their stories, so I'm worried. Because they haven't reached a conclusion yet. That maybe something, they would have instantly died. I don't know. It seems cruel, but it... You know, sometimes Darkest Dungeon tends to be cruel. Yeah, it's definitely just continue slicing off the body of work right now. Yeah, I hit one of the bleeds at least. Oh man. Oh, I love doing huge damage like that. So the Spectre is only going to be targeting Eloise, so thankfully I will have access to a very good Mace Bash consistently. De-stress Disneymere a little bit here. Regression unfortunately crits, but now Mace Bash is max damage. Well, I guess, except for the weakened token that I have right now.
A simple kindness.
There we go, I'll get rid of your horror as well as a huge amount of your stress, because obviously you are just going to continue getting stressed here. Thunk him with a Mace Bash. And again for the de-stress on Diz. Gosh, they really want to stress out John in the back line, eh? I'm gonna give Eloise some dodge. Mace Bash doesn't do a plus 100% damage at the moment, but if I use Hand of Light this turn, I set up a strength token, and now next turn it does the plus 100% damage, and it also does another plus 50% damage. Keep on hacking away. The obvious de-stress target there. Futility has struck. Alright, big ol' Mace Bash for just under lethal. But that does mean that I can get lethal with a buffing self move. That's good to know. Yeah, unfortunately I've let that regress for way too long. I'm gonna have to... weird reconstruction. $15 to $25, lowest on the damage range that was possible. That sucks.
A breakthrough.
Come on. Gonna heal some stress from seeing me do that? Wait, I don't have access to melee attacks this turn. That's actually awful. Oh boy. I'm gonna use Sanctuary to give myself some defensive buffs. Weird Reconstruction gives 51 HP back to the Vestal. Unfortunately, I believe she's probably about to stress out. Oh, not yet. And then it gets defended, and we don't get any stress as a result, though. I am 1 HP on the Spectre. That's gonna be fine. Oh wow, this will be great. Just rolling a normal Abyssal Artillery there. And now Hand of Light guarantees the kill on the Spectre. And
The past is gone. This thing is merely an echo.
it gives me Exaltation to throw at the body of work. Huge de-stress, huge heal.
Powered, emboldened.
And honestly, 72 HP is not that difficult for us to just focus on that and not have to deal with whatever the occultist wants to summon here instead. I'm gonna play for safety just in case there's something after this as well, because I'm not putting that past this game. Also because I'm not really burning through resources, like we're fine. 10 to 17, roll the lowest. That's okay, it happens. Went for a bleed on the midliner and it worked out pretty well. Mace Bash for 31 on a crit. I'm starting to get a little bit scared. There goes Futility for another 15. I'm going to continue the reasonable actions.
To destroy the thing is to destroy yourself. But the world will spring anew from the memory you kept of it.
The noise stopped.
Your confession is complete. The cosmic axes are aligned once more. Forgive yourself. Humanity is a weak hypothesis, after all. An unbalanced equation, an imperfect angle. We sow the seeds of our ruin and seek to deny its reckoning. We make mountains of our mistakes, monsters of our misdeeds. We slip and stumble, we fail and we falter. And yet, in each of us, a hopeful light. Holding fast against the hellish shadows that gather between our good intentions. And in each of us, a limitless emptiness. Of a darkest dungeon.
Incredible.
The Odyssey strengthens you.
Oh, that ending was amazing. Obviously, you know, the original game having, you know, the stress as a mechanic, resolution, you know, kind of mental health as a secondary health bar, right? I feel like the story of Darkest Dungeon 2 much more closely aligns itself with that goal than the story of Darkest Dungeon 1 did. And I feel like it was pretty evident from the very, very, very start of Darkest Dungeon 2, which is to say, the boss Shackles of the Mind gives a hint quite directly. Oh man. That was great. I really, 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 really like that as a narrative ending. I honestly did not expect that, again, that run would manage to make it through. But
Remain here if you wish. There is always more that can be learned.
it did have a pretty ridiculous amount of sustain. I feel like I seldom even needed to heal directly. Obviously, the relationships of our team was what the relationships that our team had with one another allowed them to provide the value to one another that allowed them to overcome their traumatic pasts. And in the final scene, obviously, you're gonna take out it's not protege, right? Protege? Take out the protege? Take out the ancestor? The academic? Different characters. However, take out the body of work and live out rectified lives. Like, there was Dismas there looking at his locket and not just immediately falling to tears. He was like just remembering his family. Barristan was leading an army. The leper had a little bird on his finger. Oh. The runaway was helping people out of a building. Oh, that's so good. We here in the Altar of Hope see that there is still a lot to do for the sake of this hamlet.
The more they have to hold on to, the harder they will fight.
A lot more in terms of companionship that we can pick up.
Spare a thought for tools of iron. Such implements will serve us well.
Huge amounts of additional trinkets, combat items, stagecoach items, in items, etc. I'm excited to try and get more of these unlocked.
To recall a thing is to make it real once more.
After all, the narrative is not the only game-ceasing thing in here. Instead, I think part of my goal is filling the Altar of Hope, refreshing this town.
Wisdom will help you choose a path. Resourcefulness will ensure you survive it.
For the moment, my name's been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Darkest Dungeon 2. In the top left, there's the series playlist for all my content in this game, past, present, and future. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There is a stream class in the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And Rob the thank you, and a special thanks this episode to Tristan. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.